asking yourself, why is this guy showing us his toes and the asphalt again in a parking lot? Well, back in 1959, on November 19th, a TV show debuted. When it did, it was an animated cartoon series. It had a flying squirrel in it. It had a moose, here portrayed by Mangy. The flying squirrel is portrayed by Serrano the squirrel. Two Soviet spies, Russian spies, Boris and Natasha, here portrayed by Chicken Little and Abby Mellard. Two other characters, Mr. Peabody and Sherman. This is a Sherman tank that is used for advertisement at Smith & Edwards War Surplus in Hot Springs, Utah. As you can see, we're by a highway doing this. So what we're going to do is, this is going to be a several part walk around of the weathering and conditions of a tank that is set outside for many, many years. I remember playing on this and in this in 1963 as a young kid. So let's start our walk around and see what we get. The big length of chain that has been hung on here has just been hung on for decoration, I guess. I don't know. This is, like I said, an advertising tool. So we'll start at the left front corner, go around and finish at the front. There is a mount box of some kind that is there on it. You come up, you can see the framework for the headlight assembly. A couple of latches there of some kind to catch something on it. A welded on eyelet, which has about 3 or 4 layers of welding. Another set of pins to catch something. Up here you have a set of eyelets, not eyelets, but a set of brackets that's been welded on for a large pin to go through. Here is the top of the spare sprocket mount on it. You can see where it comes through, drops through a bracket, hooks in with a pin on the back so they can pull the pin, lift it up, spin it out of the way to get the spare brackets out. This is how the bottom bracket that it goes in is put on. It's welded on that end. It has 2 pins that are welded to space it out, that the teeth of the sprocket drop around. You can see where the teeth of the sprocket, front sprocket, goes around and drops around on the pins so they set in there on it. Then it's welded on this end. As you can see, where that spare sprocket set for quite a while has really got some weathering on it, and you can really see the outline of where it was at. Back here is some kind of case that was welded on with a latch assembly on it for it holds something. A bracket of some kind, for some use it was welded on. A small eyelet type assembly welded on there. Here is a hoop type bracket that was welded on and apparently cut off and pushed down over the side for some reason. A mount bracket for something, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not an armor guy, trust me. And not a Sherman especially. I never built one of them in my life. Some kind of opening there for something. I don't know what it is. Another L-shaped bracket that has been welded on. Bracket for the taillight assembly. Spare road wheel mount. Another set of brackets, probably for the cable and pole assembly for tank recovery. I'm guessing that's what this was. On this fender is some numbers. It's got a dash GP 222-GP. It's got a USAR, which I'm guessing U.S. Army. Over on this side is a 4S and an SV on that, I'm guessing, fender. There's the other road wheel and the way it's mounted. The mounts are on it. And this is looks like a set of ventilators on this that you can see where they have had pins that have gone up, and I'm guessing attached to that bracket right there above the AR in the U.S. Army. Now, I will be truthful. I tried to lift them up to see if I could get underneath there and get a shot. And I can tell you right now, I ain't tough enough to do that. I think I have the first quadruple hernia in history. Go around this side. Another look at a taillight brake light assembly. The plate that goes in the other side on it. Another eyelet that is welded on. There's no markings that I can see on this side. A tall square piece of solid steel looks like is welded on the top there. A couple more hooks or eyelets kind of things welded on here. Two more slotted brackets made out of L material going there for different setups on it. The weld on the frame this way. Hopefully you guys can see the weld on this frame and how it come out on it. I'm getting attacked by pigeons out here. So you can see the weld on it. This comes into another sprocket assembly. A mount on this side, same as the other. Where that paint is there is where graffiti has been on this, and they have taken it off on it. Now up here, I had to get past the sun so you could see it. Up here is some other brackets and a set of rollers on this. There's another set of rollers on the other side in the same identical place on this. Same kind of brackets that's on the other side. Down the front, hopefully you can see how this is welded and put on there. I have no idea what model Sherman this is. This comes around to the bracket box mount on the same thing. Come around, this is a front fender. There's a mount on the front fender. You can see where some really big eyes have been cut off there. There's a mount for some kind of pole on it. Here is the machine gun mount, and you can see where it's got snaps around a ring to put probably a canvas cover over it to protect it, help keep the dirt out of it. There's some numbers on it, but I really can't read them. You can see how it is, hopefully you can see how it's welded around there, welded in on it. And the weld on the frame. There's a set of numbers here, which say 129 on it. I got to walk back out because I got to climb up the steps to get up here to get the others. These steps will play a picture in this. There's some numbers here that are upside down. It says LO with I think a G in a 8-sided stamping, E1232, A3547, and then in a rough hand stamp 1013, I think. You can see where the front plate has been bolted on. This, it's a 3-piece front on it. This also has some numbers, E1231, A4762, LO with the same G with an upside down 5 and a 575. Now there is some paint here, some paint lettering on it, and secure, it's about, I don't know, it's about secure brakes or before, or secure something before doing something, driving, draft, I don't know, I can't read it. It's just too hard to make out. Come around this, they have an artillery shell setting in front of it. Now we're back to where we started on this side. Now we'll start on the tracks. Okay. Here is, hopefully you can see this. Like I said, the sun's just wrong. You can see how the rubber in the tracks is all chewed up. On this, you can see the wear, some of the wear on the teeth, where it goes between the tracks. Down here on the road wheels, we got just too much shadow here, and I can't pick it up too well with this. The marks on the bogies are, I think, a 09528 something on it. You can see, you can't see very well up in there. There's a lot of dirt and mud up in there. Dirt and mud build up on the wheels, the way the tracks look on it. You can see the grease fitting right there on that wheel. You can see the grease fitting on that one also. See the dirt, the way the dirt's built up on all these. You go up here, sorry, getting a little jerky here. Here, and you can see the mud and the dirt build up and the rust in all these tracks on this. This originally set out by the highway for years, and I played on it, like I said, in 1963. So this really was quite a place to come play on this. You can see on this, looks like yellow stripes, and I can't really get the detail on this, but if you look right between those two sets of yellow, there's cords there where this wheels apparently were, I don't know if they were made in strips or rolled, things like that. I don't know on it. Here's this road wheel. You can see the amount of rubber damage to it on it. There's more damage down here. Mud buildup on this one. Spare set of tracks underneath. Back here to the idler. See some of the damage to the rubber tracks on this. Again, around the back. For that grate system, whatever it's for. Hopefully, no, I don't know if you can see that or not. There is some more of the rubber. This side here, hopefully you can see this side a little better because we're not dealing with the glare. There is more of the top of the tracks and the mud and the dirt build up inside there on your track assemblies. Down here, some more of the rust and dirt. More of on the wheels and the tracks. Down here. Down here. And now on the front is this. This pulley assembly. Or winch assembly of some kind. I don't know exactly what it's for or how it was used. It has a ID plate on it that I can't really read. It's got a caution something on it, but I really can't read it. So there's a caution plate on this. There's a square-headed, looks like bolt welded on there. Down inside, it has an opening that goes down in there. Now, I don't know how this would work. I really don't, because it's obviously on a idler pulley, not an idler pulley, but a drive sprocket. So I don't know how it would work. There is some more of a front track with some more of the rusted tracks. Bracket down there shows how the hull is bolted together in 3 pieces with the bolts with cotter keys in it. And the front hatch opening, which we'll see more when we get inside this thing here. And And you come up, there's welded seams there. And that center piece there, I don't have any idea what it's for. You can see how the top plate was welded around above the machine gun on it. You can see where the plate was welded here around in front of the driver's side. And that has numbers on it, but I can't really read them. I don't know. Something H-F-SP- something. I don't know on this. So there's the hatch assembly. Go down in there. Okay, this ends part 1. Part 2 is going to be around the top of the tank and the back over the top of the engines in this. So rather than try to climb around there while I'm filming, it's easier for me just to stop this and do it in another segment. And over here looks like for an antenna mount or some kind of mount, and there's another clamp bracket. So on part 1, this is the Pirate Hunter, and take care of yourself and each other and go to ISM. We will be back with part 2 and part 3, possibly a part 4 shortly. Take care of yourself and each other.